The political landscape is changing quickly. Jeb Bush, former governor of Florida, president and son of two former presidents, has withdrawn from the Republican primary. It was kind of sad to watch him go, just because it felt sad, like, wow, my big brother, my dad, they were presidents, and I'm clearly not going to be president right now. But I was glad. If you're a regular viewer of this program, you know that I have opposed Jeb Bush tooth and nail. It's very personal between him and I. He was the one that allowed Terri Schiavo to starve to death when he was governor. He had the legal authority to save her life, and he refused to do so. And then when I ran against the state senator from Florida, the Florida state senator, Jim King, I ran against him because he was the one who led the charge in the Senate to see her starved to death. When I did that, President Bush, or rather Governor Bush, opposed me and endorsed Jim King, the sitting senator at that time. So I tell you that, it's old news, but I tell it to you because people can say one thing but do something else. And that's what we're facing constantly with Republican candidates. As you know, Mitch McConnell said that he would not allow a vote to come to the Senate regarding an Obama pick for Supreme Court. There is already some waffling going on there. We'll get to that in the future. Back to the Republican primary. Donald Trump cleaned everyone's clock in South Carolina and took all the delegates. He won in all 7 congressional areas and therefore took all of the delegates. It is not a winner-take-all state, but he took them all, even though he did not have a clear majority for the state. The simple fact of the matter is that pundits, people who despise Donald Trump, have been prophesying his demise since the day he stepped into the race. Again, I told my viewers on this program at least 3, maybe 4 months ago that I believed that Donald Trump was going to be the nominee. I still believe he's going to be the nominee. And I explained why, and I'm going to explain it again for those who are just a little slow in the secular press that might be sneaking a peek at this program. He's winning because so many of us despise you. You, the Washington, New York corridor media elite, we despise the way you cover the news. We despise your agenda. We despise your ethics. We despise the fact that you don't have the integrity to show the American people what's really going on in abortion mills, that you don't cover the news regarding the horrific lifestyle that is involved with the homosexual movement. Okay? You sugarcoat lies and you hide truth. So we despise you. And we despise the cowardice and the treachery of the Republican establishment. Despise might be too weak a word. We feel contempt. We feel rage. And Donald Trump came along and said what we were thinking. Now, there are people who do not support Trump. I think Ted Cruz would be a better president for a lot of our issues. I think his moral compass is more soundly fixed than Mr. Trump's. I could be wrong. But from square one, I told you, the viewer, that Donald Trump was serving a huge purpose for us because he's saying the things that up until this campaign, you could not say and get away with. And so he says that there's a bunch of criminals and rapists coming over the southern border. We're going to build a wall. And boo, the Republican establishment, the Democratic establishment, the media establishment, they all come unglued. And what happens? Trump's numbers go up. Then he makes comments about the Second Amendment. People should have had guns inside San Bernardino and in Paris. His numbers go up. He says that we need to have a temporary ban on Muslims coming into the country. His numbers go up. He's showing, and then he takes on the media, he takes on the power elite. And meanwhile, you have this disaffected, minority, but a large minority, that is cheering him on because of the rage we feel at the very people that he is mocking. And so we become not a silent amen corner. We become this throng, this mob of people saying yes. And that is why he just doesn't budge. His numbers don't budge. And trust me, as one after another these people peel off and pull out, a portion of them are going to go to Trump. How can this man praise Planned Parenthood and still win South Carolina and beat Ted Cruz with the evangelical vote? I'll tell you why when I come back from this break. And we're going to show you a clip from CBN regarding Mr. Trump and Planned Parenthood. It's in some ways, it's political genius.